It's like we're going to have a huge outbreak, but all you need is one. Look what happened there in Mississippi, right? That's all you need. And we do have the flash flood warnings here anywhere from Mississippi over to Alabama and Tennessee. That means that flash flooding is imminent or it's occurring. Anywhere you see those small green boxes, very heavy rain pushing with our front, this is all going to be sliding south and east, and behind it, much cooler air. But we've got to get through this first. The possibility of some strong winds and tornadoes. It is there. It exists. We do have some very strong winds, especially in the mid-level. We're seeing them, and so that could help get that energy and that spin going in the atmosphere. Watch as we go through the day. This is going to be an all-day event because we do still have some clouds and some showers that will be coming in once that front comes through. Temperatures are going to be dropping. That's the other huge story with this. Much cooler air is coming into play for us here, and then as we head into our Thursday, things are going to quiet down, and they stay really quiet. Big high pressure dominating, which is nice. When does it get through Atlanta? Well, it's going to really be coming through around that lunchtime hour. So if you do have lunch plans, make sure that you have, all the necessary equipment to keep you dry. And you actually are going to get those cooler air, too, coming in behind this. So you might want to bring that heavier jacket if you're going to spend a little bit extra time at work and come home a little bit late. It will be on the chillier side. And as we take you up into Charlotte, Gastonia, Concord, we see, again, a little bit of rain coming through, but the heavy stuff pops off basically after school, though I know a lot of people are on spring break this time of year, and we will see everything start to quiet down. So the good news is, Jim, the rain comes through fairly quickly, and the cold air doesn't stick around for very long either.
No, but it will be that day where you're like, oh my gosh, what just happened here?
Exactly.
Right, it'll be
dry, right? So they've got it all on this weekend. Yeah. There's no rain coming in. I've got your Easter weekend forecast here. Look at Saturday and Sunday too, by the way. There's hardly any precipitation. No rain in the forecast. Saturday is National Find a Rainbow Day. You're not going to find one anywhere. New Orleans, you've got an adult Easter egg hunt going on Saturday. 50 people is the limit. You get a face mask along with a bag to collect your eggs, and I think there's some alcohol involved in the egg collecting. So there you go. You can check that out. New York City, here's a look at your forecast into Saturday. Temperatures in the 50s. Sunday in the 50s as well, but nice and dry here. Not much in the way of precip anywhere. Now, I know the big Easter bonnet parade in New York City is such a tradition. Again this year, it's not going to be in person. It's going to be virtual, but maybe you can just do a little parade on your street there, all dressed up in your Easter best. We have your Saturday forecast in the south. Your any Easter egg hunts are going to be looking at dry conditions. The ground still might be a little soggy after all the rain, but at least the weather will be dry for a couple of days leading up to this. A little cooler, though, than typical, right? I mean, we've got temperatures in Florida down into the 70s for highs on Saturday. Sunday rebounds a few more degrees. Really nice, really pretty weather, though, with sunshine out all across the south here on Sunday. Let's go up to the upper Midwest. Chicago, we've got temperatures in the mid-60s. The rebounding happens here first, where temperatures start going back up. So I know as cold as it is this morning in Minneapolis, it's going to be that nice by the time we get into your Easter Sunday. Here, we just completely reverse it. We're going to 68 degrees on Easter Sunday. The West, it was just snowing yesterday in Denver, but it's going to be 76 degrees on Saturday in Phoenix. We finally will hit our first 90 of the season. We're getting up to the upper 90s by the time we get through the weekend. Well, yeah, bring your glove and not to catch the ball.
Right.
Got snowflakes.
Or keep your hands warm.
Keep your hands warm. Exactly. All right, I want to show you what's happening elsewhere, too, in the Northeast with some of the rain and snow that we have going on. So it's rain in Boston. But Boston, the thing is, this morning, if you went out early, the dog woke you up, had to go out, it was warm. It was in the 50s. Now it's in the 40s. Temperatures are dropping, and we've got the rain around. We're not going to ever get cold enough to snow here with the precip in place, but it is going to be a chilly rain for us here throughout the day in Boston. A couple of showers still squeaking through by about the dinner hour. Boston, what a month we had in March, huh? It was mainly warm and not much else. So temperatures were 3.7 degrees above average. Our precip, though, was below average by nearly 2.5 inches. Our snow was below average by 7.7 inches. And now for the second straight March, no significant snow. We last year actually tied for least snowiest snow in Boston. All right, now Burlington. Our temperatures dropped enough. We have changed over to snow. We've got snow all across this area. Temperatures, though, are about 35, 34, so it's not super duper cold. That'll help us out on the roadways, right? But you're probably piling up on your grass, and we're watching that happen with the snowfall flying around right through this afternoon. Dinner hour, things start to lift out, and by tonight, everything is just cooling down, and the snow is ended, but temperatures are dropping into the 20s. So anything that's wet on the roads today that doesn't dry up could be icy tomorrow morning. We got about an inch or so in terms of snowfall, so it's not like that's a ton. But Jim, I do worry about sort of those next day problems.
Yeah, when it refreezes, right?
Right.
When, stadium.
Yes, but I feel like people have like their lucky cap that they wear, and then the rally cap when you do it inside out and put it on top of your head. Can you rally cap a stocking cap? I guess you can. Or can you only rally cap a baseball hat?
Probably a baseball cap. I've never seen a rally cap stocking cap. But you could start something here, Abrams. It's opening day. Get it going.
It's kind of like, is a hot dog a sandwich or not? It's kind of one of those controversies, isn't it, that we've just started? All right, let's take you into the Northeast. Temperatures still hanging on here along that I-95 corridor. They're in the 40s, and they're going to stay pretty mild. Pittsfield, Mass., our average high is 48 degrees this time of year. Now, we are anywhere from 10 to 20 to almost 25 degrees cooler than we were yesterday. But the really cold air is going to settle in tomorrow morning, and it's going to get, by the way, all the way down into South Florida. Here's a look at those temperatures as we head through the day. Notice again, we're going to stay about average for us here in the Northeast, so it stays pretty warm. But, oh, there we go into the evening hours, lose the daytime heating, and that cold air really sinks on in. We already have, actually, freeze warnings in effect for tomorrow morning in places like Maryland and Delaware. We could have teens, 20s, record-setting stuff here, and into tomorrow as well. It's going to stay cold. It'll be, Saturday warming back up. You see those greens and the yellows when the reds will return too. But Jen, in D.C., it's not until Sunday.
Yes, all right. That was pretty crummy weather. So
it was pretty crummy weather.
Fans and players are happy about that.
I tweeted it. I'm like, this seemingly seems okay, but it's April Fool's Day.
So you don't know what to trust.
So you don't know. So we were like waiting until we got the official word.
Yeah, okay.
But the Red Sox tweeted it. If they're playing a joke on everyone, that's on them. All right, this is not a joke. We are seeing a meltdown from high above. A satellite sees snow vanishing from the ground right in front of us. This was happening. We don't do any April Fools here because we just don't want to confuse people. So on the Weather Channel, we keep everything legit, even on this day, because that could be really, really bad. But you can see the snow still into the mountains, but there it is. Denver, Monday hit a high of 75, tumbled to a low of 24 on Tuesday. Inch and a half of snow fell. We are literally like an inch, just over an inch below being 1.2. Basically an inch from breaking our all-time record snow in March. And sadly, we are not going, I don't think we're going to be able to do it. Now, listen, it's still April. We still could get snow, but at least not in the coming days because we have this big warming trend that's coming in, and it's starting in the west. So Colorado, we're going to see some of that snow melt. I know there's a lot of people spring breaking and doing some skiing. It's going to be hot for you with record highs. Listen, Vegas, Phoenix, we're supposed to be hot, but not this hot. This is off the charts hot, and there's your dome, your high pressure. Everything is shifting east and north as well. So you're not going to be left out of it around the Great Lakes as that warmth continues from basically the Big Bend of Texas all the way up into the UP. Look at the 80s getting into Louisville, D.C. in the mid-70s, and it goes on from there. St. Louis, you're going to be above average here, 20 degrees as we head into our Tuesday. And the same goes for places like Columbus, Ohio. 58 is our average high. We're going to be near that as we head into the beginning of next week. And, Jim, I could just go city after city after city. Memphis, you're on that train, too.
Everybody's on that train through there.
The thing about this camera is all of this damage and that sound and the rain and everything, we were really on the very extreme edge of this tornado where this video was taken.
This is not as bad as it was at the worst of the tornado where it was an EF4 and in the heart of that damaged area, right in here. We had winds in excess of 170 miles per hour right near the Unity Baptist Church.
And you can see where the camera is over by Jen.
Yeah.
And in fact, that camera was facing south. And it was about 3/4 of a mile east of the high school.
So looking out in this direction.
It was looking away from where we had the strongest winds associated with the system. So it's probably EF0, EF1.
Right. You can see where sort of the worst of the damage was. But it was a mile wide at points, this tornado. So certainly some extensive damage. The worst of the wind was with that area that we showed you highlighted in red on that previous graphic here. And that's how it got the rating of EF4.
I think what's interesting, too, is you see where Tyrone is. Some of the debris got into Fulton County, which is Atlanta, on the south side of town. That's how far it carried some of that debris.
We could see it on the radar. That debris was getting picked up all the way up in that area.
Thankfully, this weekend, it's going to be so much calmer, not only for Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, the South, Tennessee, but the entire country, Jen.
I mean, it's just like a sigh of relief because it's been a busy stretch right between all the winter weather and then the severe weather, and now we just have some nice benign weather for Easter weekend. A lot different than we had last